Okay, we're on. We had some technical difficulties there, but I think we worked it out. So thanks for joining me. My name is Dan Gogh. Today we're going to be drawing. In fact, for the whole month of November, you get free access to office hours. We're going to draw together. This is going to be a fun month. I'm going to really focus on what would be helpful to you, and the only way I can know that is if you let me know. So feel free to drop me some comments on the video as to what you'd like me to focus on. I thought for today we'd start very simple with the basics of drawing shapes. So get out some paper and let's start drawing. So when we talk about shapes, we're going to start very simple. We're going to start with our two-dimensional shapes, which is everything that you learned growing up: square, circle, rectangle. That's a triangle. Try to trick you. Rectangle and an oval. And these are our basic building blocks. So we can start with the circle, put it on top of a square, and let's see. I'm going to make a figure here. We'll make it a hat. And we'll use some more rectangles for the arms. Some ovals for the feet. And some circles. So all we're doing is building. And I'm going to fix that hat just a little bit. I don't like the way it looks. So we've got a triangle. Okay. Now, if I were drawing this on paper, I would use a pencil and I would draw nice and light. That way we have room to work with it. When you know exactly what you want to draw, that's when we're going to start adding a little more pressure. But I'm going to put another layer on this because now I'm going to draw on top of what we drew. And so this would symbolize, this would be like now we're going to add some more details. And I can add some circles for the eyes. Some circles inside of those. Small nose, so a curved line for the nose. We can add some curves for the ears. And now here's where we're going to start to look at what we drew so far. So I've got a very box-like torso, which is fine if you're drawing a robot. But I want this to look a little more like a human, a little more believable. So I'm going to round out this face. And we're going to start connecting. And I'm using curved lines instead of all these straight lines. We're softening it, we're curving it, and it starts to make the figure look a little more, kind of shortening those arms a little bit, less like a robot. Okay, and actually I'm going to come back again to this, to the sides here, and we're going to make them just a little bit, round it out just a little bit here. So again, less robotic, less straight lines. If you're drawing something man-made, then you generally use a lot of lines. The table you're drawing on, the TV, the monitor of your computer. Straight lines, but for something a little more organic, you're going to see a lot more curves. And you see I'm kind of cleaning up the feet a little bit. I've got a little bit flatter line on the bottom, and then some curved lines for the sides. And then for the hat, I'm going to make this a little more, we use a curved line for the base. And I'm going to dip down here and just round it out. for the hat. And then we can add any details we want. I'm going to put a little hair down. Maybe I'll add some curved lines for some cheeks. Just a little curve for the lower lip, some detail inside the ears. And I could put a line straight across for the waist, but I'm actually going to use some curved lines there as well. Just to get, I'm trying to describe that this is a round form. And so we use our curved lines for that. And I think we're off to a good start. And I just want to show you what we have here. We'll take away these outlines. And that's what we started with. So something just very basic, but just by adding a little more detail, it takes on a little more of a life of its own. So I'm just going to throw some shading in here for fun, and if that's something you'd like to see more of, let me know. We can do that as well. This is going to be a fun month. We're going to be drawing together. I'm really leaning on you to let me know what you want to draw. Any issues that you have with drawing that you'd like to focus on. But today's going to be very short and very sweet. Took a while to figure out going live. Actually, I've never done that with YouTube before, so that was a little bit of a learning curve. So hopefully we'll be back tomorrow and ready to roll. And appreciate you joining me today. Leave me some feedback in the comments. Let me know exactly what you'd like to focus on, and this is going to go in whatever direction you want it to. So thanks again for joining me. If you'd like to see some of my artwork, you can go to dangogh.art. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.